Hi everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we've got in this new home model L312. Not sure the age of it. I just plugged it in, checked there's some power to it. We're going to check the fuse first. This is the first thing we're going to do. Just a quick mention before I carry on, if you are watching, please subscribe to my channel, it will really help me out. Trying to get the numbers up a bit, it's a bit slow at the moment. First thing we see is that it's a 13 amp fuse. Oh no, it's a 5 amp fuse, that's fine. So 5 or 3 amp in these, you don't need a 13. Got a 13 amp in there and there's a fault, it take too long to blow. This will blow nice and quick, which is what you want it to do. If there's a fault, you want it to blow quickly. Okay, so let's pop that back in there and then we'll run the machine. See what we've got. It's just in for a service, no faults reported to me, but there's normally something wrong, as I always say. Okay, let's just, it's a little bit slow. I'm guessing this is dry as a bone inside. Very clunky. Motor's struggling to turn it, to be honest. So what we'll do is strip it down. So we take the bobbin case out, hook and hook retaining ring out. We take the needle plate off. Nice and easy. I haven't posted for a couple of weeks because I've been so busy. I know it sounds weird. I could have videoed every single one of them, but it just takes a little bit of time, and I was getting such a backlog in machines. Needle's in the right way round, so it's not that issue. I've got a new one in anyway. I'm just going to put it onto wide zigzag and check the timing. Check that the hook of the hook meets the eye of the needle at the right point. It's quite hard to see these because the feed dog's in the way, but that's looking good. It's just very tight, this machine. Okay, next thing to do is take the top off, which is just 2 screws by the handle. 1 screw there, another one there. This is quite an old machine, so it's not a case of taking the casings off front and back like on a modern machine. You just take the top and bottom off on these. That's there. That's there. You can see in there, you can't actually tell from the camera, but it is extremely dry. Yeah, bone dry. There's not a bit of oil left on this, so it's probably never been serviced in its lifetime, and I'm guessing it's 40 years old, 30-40 years old. I'm going to take the bottom off it, which is just a matter of lots of Phillips screws. Well, these aren't very tight, so I'm guessing it has been taken off before. Use a screwdriver on there. And get that engaged. 3 there. Another 2 here. Right, that should be them all done. Just come off now. So be careful, don't lose the screws on the floor. Those 2. It's quite tight in there. Oh yeah, lots of fluff under there. Just get the, just to make sure these screws are undone. That's it. It's not too bad on there, pretty grubby, but not too much fluff. There was quite a lot of fluff on the machine itself just here. And if you see my other videos, you see I've got a compressor here, we'll blow that away. Got a bit of fluff there, don't want that getting back into the machine, so we'll clear all that out. I don't think fluff's the problem with this machine, I think it's just the dryness of it that's causing problems. Makes it clunky and not very smooth running. Okay, so that's the bottom off. We can actually take the side off as well. You just undo this one screw here. Oh, there's got a sticker on there for service. Yeah, it was serviced by somebody local many years ago, because I'm afraid that guy's not around anymore. He passed away a few years ago. Probably, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. So, right. While I'm at this end, I'll take this little cover off the hand wheel and screw that there. And then we'll pull this out and drop some oil into there and round the top. Turn it half a turn, put it out again, get some more oil into the bottom. So this is turning now, the main shaft isn't, so that's what you do when you wind the bobbin winder. Excuse me, I've got a tickle. So we're going to pop this back as it was, which was in that position. Some of them have this little washer here, make sure that stays on there. Got a little screw back. Tighten that up. And check that operates correctly. So now we can run the machine slowly because we haven't oiled it yet. You can see that runs nice and fast until it's connected to the machine and it slows down, but we can solve that with some oil in the right places. So first thing to do is blow the fluff away. The compressor will probably kick in a minute. There's a pin just fallen out. Under there. Blow any fluff out of the side here at the top. Not too fluffy at the top. And now we just need to work some oil into it. We'll start at the top on this one. I'll sometimes start at the bottom, but it doesn't really matter. So we're going to take the presser foot adjuster off at the top and take the spring out, get some oil into there. Always make sure there's plenty of oil on these bits. Just going to get the oil worked into that bar. And then we can put the spring back and put this adjuster back on. Right way up would be good. We've got some markings on this normally. Yeah, can't really see them. We don't need to worry about where that ends up because there's no markings on this one. Not too tight, and then you can press it down, it holds, and then pull the collar down, it releases. So that's working perfectly now. all that does is adjust the pressure holding the fabric down. Put a drop of oil on the bobbin winder, not too much, you don't want it on the rubber. There's a rubber ring that attaches to this wheel. If you get oil on that, it will slip and won't wind properly. It's nice and smooth. Tighten that up. Now we can run the machine normally. I'll try and show you where I'm putting this. It's really hard to show with just two hands, but what we're watching for, this is the main shaft. We're trying to watch for any points where the main shaft turns against something that doesn't, which is right at the end there. And just work your way along, watching bits that stay still or rub against the shaft. Especially these main bearings where the shaft goes through, because that's where the most resistance will be. Actually an oiling hole in there, I think. You've got some little felt pads just down here, which are oiling pads, so we get lots of oil on those, and that will drip feed the oil to it. There's another one this side. A lot of machines don't have these oiling pads. I like them. I think they're good because they just feed the oil to the machine throughout the months, and it's just always against the joint, which is good. They don't tend to dry up for quite a long time, so they keep feeding it. Don't have a leaky oiling can for some reason. Don't know why. That's good. Again, that bit I've just oiled. Okay, so that bit that I just oiled here is your mechanism for changing the strictures on the patterns. As you can see, as you turn that, this moves back and forwards, so you need some oil on that just to make it move. Now I'm just oiling all the joints around the needle mechanism. Not too much down this end because you'll get it on the sewing otherwise if it leaks oil down the needle. I can already feel the machine loosening up a little bit. But you won't get it fully loose until I do the bottom. You can probably hear it, how much smoother it is now. Now we'll flip it onto its back and we'll start on the bottom. So again, watching for all the points that rub against everything else that doesn't move. It's the easiest way to explain it really. And if any time a joint is rubbing against something, that's when you need a drop of oil. Again, not too much. Don't miss any joints because There's no point having one dry joint because that will slow the machine up. And then you've got this mechanism here which drops the feed dog down. Just make sure there's oil on that so it slides nicely. And forwards nicely, that's all good. I always put a little bit on the spindle of the motor, not too much. Just protects the motor. And what a difference that's made to the speed. Just not clunky at all anymore. And they run really fast. It's a very basic machine, this one. Just make sure all these wheels are lubricated. Click the reverse lever, which is way down in the middle of the machine. Put some oil on that. You can actually, I can't really show you without taking all the camera off the mount, but there's a mechanism as you push the reverse down. I don't know if you'll see any of this. As you push this down, there's a mechanism down inside which moves. And within that, inside of that, there's another bit that slides when the machine runs. So it's a matter of getting oil into all of that. And also get some oil and a drop of WD as well I put down there. Just to, not to flood it where it is, but just to get some, get a bit of lubrication into that joint to run. That just sounds like brand new now. It's a lovely, lovely sounding machine now. We also have a stretch stitch on here. So it'll go back and forwards. Check that's working. You can see it is by this lever here going up and down. That works by engaging with this cam here, which spins round, pushes it up and down. So every couple of stitches it will do a reverse stitch. And that is another part that needs oil in, because if that pushes it doesn't come back, it all works on springs. If it's too tight for the spring to pull it back, that will cause problems, but that's doing the right thing now. It's got a 4-step buttonhole which looks like it's selecting. I will do a little buttonhole stitch when I test it. There's not many stitches on this. You've got a straight and zigzag and a buttonhole. It's a very simple machine. You can also do a stretch stitch as well. That shows the patterns here. Buttonhole, straight, straight stitch, straight stretch, zigzag and zigzag stretch. All colour coded, so the green does these green stitches here, those two green, and then anything else you choose your own width, your own length I should say. And then your zigzag, this is just the width of the zigzag, so that's the widest, that's the narrowest. In fact, in that position that's a left hand straight stitch. It'll move over to the left of the needle will move to the left, and then B, which is just a straight stitch in the middle. Right, that's pretty much it. Oiled, cleaned. I'm just going to clean out the tension, which is this unit here. So we're going to put it onto 0, lift it up, and then we'll fire some air through the discs just to clear any fluff. If you're doing it and you haven't got a compressor, you can use a needle just to scrape in between the discs, check there's no surprises. Amazing what you find inside these, from fluff to thread. Stuff that I've been stored, I've even found little spiders in there before, but that's rare. So this is squeezing up the tensions. I'll just check that's working. You can normally see it pushing. Yeah, so if I show you here, this is the tension unit here. It's got a plunger. As you turn, it squeezes that plunger up and makes these discs pressure tighter. So it's very simple, but that's just what it does. And when you pull it back, it releases the pressure, and then when you lift the foot up, it just pulls the discs apart for threading. I'll explain about that when I'm threading it up. So we're just going to put a bit of thread on. I'm just going to take it through the tensions as if I'm threading the machine. So that's into the tensions now. Drop the foot down and it tightens up. Lift the foot up and it releases. So the tension release is working. I'm just going to try and gauge the thread tension, which is about right, so we should be okay with that. I can adjust it on the back of here, but I don't think I need to. You'll see when I sew. And that's pretty much it. So we've oiled everything up, checked the tensions, checked the timing, cleared all the fluff out, checked that this clutch release is working properly for the bobbin winder. I'm just going to check the belt's not too tight. It's a little bit tighter than I'd like, to be honest, so we're going to loosen that a fraction, which we do by loosening off these two screws. That one there, that one there. That should just move a fraction. I have to do these two a fraction as well. That's it. So that's loosened it off. Probably too much. I don't want the belt sloppy, but I don't want it tight, because if it's too tight, it's probably just about right. If it's too tight, it will shorten the life of the motor because it's putting too much strain on it. If it's too loose, it can slip, but this is a tooth belt, so the chances of it slipping are pretty remote. It won't really jump teeth on these because it's not that loose, but you can see now it's got a bit of play in it. It's not putting any strain on that pulley. It will probably run quieter as well. Certainly runs fast now, and I can hold this and it's not slipping, so I'm happy with that. That's good. The next thing to do, put the side back on. This is. That's it. Then we'll put the bottom back on. Clean that out, by the way. Check I've got any loose fluff, and it's discoloured here over years, but as long as there's no fluff in there. Then we'll just pop these back in again. So we need a big one in there. And then we've got some long ones and some short ones. I'm pretty sure the long ones go with the other cover and the short ones go in here. if you're unsure when you're doing it, just when you take them out, put them in a certain position. It seems to, maybe some are long and some are short. Let's have a look. Right, the little one goes in there. Little one in there. That must be a long one in there. Oh, there's already one in there. That's white. Four short ones in there. And then we've got the two long ones which must go in here. That's better. Always a bit fiddly putting covers back. Best advice if you're doing covers is don't tighten all the screws up until you've got each one started. You know it's in the right position then. Okay, we'll plug the power back in and then we can put the top on. Again, it's the two screws on top. Don't tighten them up fully till you've got them both in. And on this machine there's another one just here. This one here, which you have to tighten up as well. That just holds that end of the cover in place. Going to give that a quick clean on top. Very tight in there, but not what I can do about that. It's like it's expanded in the heat. Maybe they kept it in the loft. Yeah, very tight. Right back around too much. I don't want to break the handle. It's not something you can get parts for anymore. Okay, next job to do is just to check the hook. This is the hook. That's the bit that goes back and forwards underneath to grab the thread. It's got a slight little burr on there. You wouldn't be able to see on the camera, but I can feel it with my nail just there. It's just a little burr. So just a light file. Now it's smooth again, and believe me, that would cause a lot of problems, that little burr. You can break thread, it can give bad tensions because it won't let go of the thread at the right point. It's just something as simple as that can cause a lot of problems with sewing machines, and it's caused when a needle hits it. Just a drop of oil where the hook's going to sit. Hook race, and we got the hook retainer. This goes back in there. Put these two little clips across to hold it, and again we can run the machine. Just check it removes. Nothing's hitting anything. That's all good. We put a new needle in. I always use a size 90 needle, 14, 90, same thing. Just make sure that goes in nice and central, as far up as it will go, with the flat side of the back on this machine, so the groove to the needle eye is at the front. Check the needle plate for damage, it doesn't have any, which is always good. Tighten up these screws. You don't have to tighten up anything too tight on these machines, just finger tight. It only causes drama when you want to undo things if you do it too tight. Now we'll put on the sewing foot. Again, just give it a little tweak with the screwdriver, and we're ready to go. So first job, I'll wind the bobbin. Use my own thread on this. Good quality thread. Take that around there. I'm going to leave this handle up, because otherwise it will catch the thread and won't let the bobbin wind evenly. Put my finger on there so it doesn't fly off. It's winding nice and evenly. Don't want to overfill it. That's pretty good. And then I'm just going to check underneath this tension spring for any fluff. I just use an old needle, which is good, nice and clean inside. You drop this in, the thread coming off top right, and then you take it back on itself under that spring, and that is falling too easily, so it's slightly too loose. Tighten that screw up a fraction, and then it should hang until you shake it and then it drops. That's the right tension on that. Might have to adjust it later, but for starters that's the perfect tension on that. Now to thread the top. So again, always first thing, make sure this foot is up, the sewing foot up in the air, releases the tensions. This comes down between the tension discs, back up to the take up lever, and follow that guide, that guide, that guide, and then thread it front to back. Once you've gone past here, you can put that presser foot down, give you more room to get to the needle. Just make sure you haven't got any knots in that. And then we'll take the machine down and up once and pull. That pulls your bottom thread up. I'm sure everyone watching this knows how to thread a machine and pull the thread up. And that is now ready for sewing. So we get some fabric. Don't need too much because we've only got a few stitches on this machine. Okay, check the top tensions in the middle, which is number 4 on this machine. We'll set out stitch to straight stitch, fairly long one. Run it to the end, go into reverse, check the stitch so we can see our individual stitches on top. We can see our individual stitches on the bottom. It's always a bit darker on top because it collecting a little bit of oil off the hook, but that will stop. Onto there. Now we're going to put it onto zigzag. A shorter stitch. very nice. And we put a wider zigzag we can and the longest stitch we can. That will show up any discrepancies with tensions, which it hasn't, so that's good. And now we'll just do a stretch stitch, just round to the green, SS for stretch stitch. We'll leave it on zigzag. As you can see, the fabric's going backwards and forwards, creating a double stitch. It's good if you want to make a nice strong seam, or if you're using stretch fabric. And then we'll just put that back onto straight stitch. Again, that's doing a double stitch. So nice. It's very quiet, very smooth, which it wasn't when it first came in. So what we'll do now, just do a little straight stitch. That's it. And now we're going to go put it onto the red, this onto red, and now we're going to do a buttonhole. So the first one it does is the middle one, which is your bar at the end, and then we go to that one there. On this machine we'll go to that one there, which will bring it down the left hand side, back to the middle for another bar tack at the end, and then the right hand one, which is the reverse stitch, and then we'll take it back off of there, back to straight stitch. So away. So that's it tested, really happy with the results. Just cut these off so I can show you now. So that was the first line, so it's a little bit fadey because we're picking up a bit of oil. Nice and clean on the back. The peaks for the zigzag are nice and straight, there's no pulling, there's no bad tensions, perfect V's. And then this one here is your stretch zigzag and stretch straight stitch, so it's done a double stitch over each. Nice strong, nice and bold. And went back to straight stitch into buttonhole mode. Done a lovely buttonhole actually, better than a lot of modern machines do. Buttonhole and then just sewn away with a straight stitch. So that is as good as that machine's ever going to be. Good as new, if I dare say it myself. It's running really nicely, nice and quiet, nice and smooth. That's all good. So all that's left now is to give it a good clean, let the customer know it's ready, and they can come and collect it and then move on to the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please comment. If you didn't, please comment. This is a New Home L312, old machine, solid as a rock, sewing like brand new. Makes the job worthwhile when they come in all lumpy and go out nice and smooth. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.